So this is gonna be our guide here, talking about the demons, what the best perks are, in my opinion, of course. We still don't know what's gonna be like the meta eventually when people get max levels with everything. I think Puppeteer and Necromancer are both extremely strong in the right circumstances. I really don't... I mean, I can't say that I don't like Warlord, Henrietta, but it's definitely by far the weakest one out of all of them. But here we go, let's talk about some perks. So, of course I'm not max level with anyone because I'm like spreading my points still. But here is the deal, starting with the Puppeteer, for sure you want to start with those two perks. They increase the respawn speed of the Infernal Orbs and increase the amount of energy you get from orbs. So, main thing about Demon is you always want to have energy to spawn things, to spawn traps, to spawn portals, to possess, to do anything, right? So, first points immediately go in here. Of course you cannot go to the second tier without spending some other points in other things. I think you should be, after this Infernal energy stuff, those two perks, you should definitely go here for both cooldown on elite portals and cooldown on basic portals. And why is cooldown important? So when I faced teams of like actually decent survivors that played together, they rolled through everything and got very far into the match, I ended up, when I was protecting the dagger and the pages, I ended up having all the energy I wanted, because the energy keeps recharging when you are in the circle of the objective. But the problem was, I had no cooldown. I had to wait a decent amount of time to spawn any more stuff, and they would not run into my traps. So then I realized that the better survivors will get, the cooldown is crucial. So I think like putting your points in here, like I did in the beginning, like this is a very solid build so far for the beginning points. If you want to mimic my build, of course you can go into other things too, but I think this is like very, very strong. And what you want to go for in the future, I think this one, 1 point, Eligos melee attacks cause bleeding. So this seems really strong, because like you can hit them once, and Eligos teleports around all the time. He's very hard to hit, he has the invisibility too. You can just attack someone with your fists, you can stack this bleed, and then you can start using abilities, and they're still bleeding, taking damage, and you're charging your abilities, like stunning them, because Eligos has a AoE stun. So I think I'm gonna test it, of course, I'm still not there yet, but I think the bleed is very important, and then probably damage. This is the boss damage, and there's some basic units and elite damage. I think this is what you go for here. Those lower perks here, see, this is all possession of survivors. If you like possessing survivors, but here is the deal, your passive here is about the units you possess. I don't think this is about possession of survivors. So Eligos is all about possessing the units. The percentage goes up of health and damage the higher level you are. It's all passives. So I think this is really bad build with possessing survivors. You should just avoid it. This is energy, but this is, you just start with energy. This is kind of meh. Very, very not comparable to those. Those are like crazy good throughout the entire match. So like I said, I think you should go here for the boss damage. Boss is always like, with every class, such a strong thing. The bleeding for sure, and the cooldown is the priority here too. And the rest of the points you can decide for, like health on elite units, health on normal units, all that stuff, in my opinion, is, yeah, viable. So next, Evil Ash, the Necromancer. Here's the deal. I think this is very important to go here into those perks that have 1 point. Skeletons attack more frequently. I don't know how good this is gonna be in the game, but making the AI better for you seems very important. This can prevent healers. No, this one. This one can prevent healers from when they put the AoE down and start healing everyone, and you attack them, they're just not gonna regen HP because you keep hitting them. So preventing them from healing, pretty big. And then you have one more skeleton when you use your ability. So you literally want to swarm people with skeletons that you revive with your AoE as a boss. I think very important is going for, like in previous Demon, it's very important to go for the portals. So in here you have the reduced amount of energy required for portals basics, and then you have like elites, boss. Like, I think those you should be focusing, the portal ones. I think this one is gonna be quite good. Increase the flute effect range. So you can put your flutist, and there is another tip here. When you play, because this is not a passive, this is an active ability on Evil Ash. My tip is like, so for some people it's obvious, of course, but I'm making like a guide here for everyone that's new. And you never want to put your flutist just in the middle of the fight because they're just gonna kill him. You want to hide him behind a wall or somewhere. So having the bigger range, 55 meters, putting him in some house upstairs far away is gonna be really good. And your enemies or your units are all buffed, and survivors are just gonna get steamrolled by AI and by you when you possess some skeletons. And I think besides like going for the portals, going in here, the bonus boss damage, probably elite, basic, and some health on like the elites and the basics is good. But once you spawn as a boss and you spawn all those skeletons, like, I think the damage and the HP on skeletons is good. I think the portal perks are good, and then just like your damage and healing from this ability is probably good too, because if you have enough energy to stay inside of a boss, all there is that they can do is just kill you. So you should be playing safe, reviving skeletons, and going to someone that's separate from the team and grab them and regen your HP over and over. So yeah, and they're gonna be also accumulating a lot of fear because of the skeletons, so there is that. And like I said, I think those are the... Of course you can have fun playing Warlord Henrietta if you want, but I'm not gonna tell you how to play. But I think this is definitely the weakest demon. Both Puppeteer and Necromancer are extremely strong. And now one more thing about not the perks but the points you spend in the game. Like basically when you started the match and you start leveling up, the points you don't keep outside of the matches. I usually go all out on Infernal Energy, because energy is the must, like the bread and butter of demons. So I put my points into Infernal Energy all the time, and only when I unlock an ability to go with my points into the basic portal, elite portal, boss portal, I just put 1 point in them to be able to spawn them, but I don't put more points until I max out Infernal Energy. That's the like beginning of the match tips here. And you could go 1 point into the detection if you want to find survivors early. I sometimes do it, sometimes I don't. Now I kind of stopped doing it, and I just go all out on Infernal Energy, and then slowly start putting points into the other portals when I already put 1 point in each one of them. The traps, I mean, last upgrade of the traps is that the portals, instead of spawning basic enemies or units, spawn elites. So that's pretty good. But I would first make sure you have all the portals, including boss at level 10, and full Infernal Energy. Then you can put some points in traps if you want. So I think that's everything about the demons right now. I'm gonna be posting more videos with like maxed out demons once I max their levels. And one more tip I could tell you, playing as a demon, You always first want to focus supports, so they cannot heal the team. So like Cheryl, Pablo, this Ashe from the first movie. You want to focus them always, so they cannot heal the team. Once you down them, you of course want to stay around so they cannot revive. You never want to let people revive. Once you down a survivor, if they're alone, just leave portals, the proximity portals, to make sure that when the survivor gets close and they want to revive, they get jumped by the demons, by the monsters. And yeah, you want to eliminate supports first. And one good tip, probably most people don't realize, never go for warriors first. Like Henry is very tanky. But his invulnerability goes away fast, so then you can get him down. But this Ashe that I'm playing, when I'm playing Survivor a little bit, he's probably, I would say, one of the strongest characters in the game when it comes to like solo plays. You can carry a game by playing him, just because of his ult and then the other passives. His shields, when they regen, you can keep regening shields and you can keep exploding, killing units by getting your shields destroyed. And his ult literally gives him 50% damage reduction, 30% damage increase, 250 health restored, and 30 fury reduction. Like, when you see that you are attacking this Ashe and he's popping the potion, just leave him alone. There's no point in attacking him, it's gonna take forever, he's healing, he's renewing shields, just leave him be. I'm gonna make a tutorial about my build here. You can see the basics right now. Going into the amulets is gonna be huge for this, the shield blast. I hope you can trigger it over and over, we'll see how it works. But yeah, never focus this Ashe first, always focus supports. This Ashe or Henry, if the player is good as him, always leave them as the last survivor that you're gonna kill, because they're just too tanky. So you want to be smart with your picks, who you want to go for. And that's basically it. And I'm gonna be posting like full build guides showing the level 45 killer demon builds and probably some survivor builds like this Ashe in the future, so yeah. And I'm streaming every single day on twitch.tv Alder22. So yeah, if you want some experienced demon gameplay and sometimes survivor gameplay too, then see you there. Thanks for watching.